Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B Podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to another episode of the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. This is our bonus episode for Money in the Bank. I'm Ryan.
I'm Tom.
And we are coming at you with our predictions before the actual Money in the Bank PLE.
Hell yeah.
So we got 4 matches on the night, and we're starting it off in no specific order, but we are starting it off for our sake with the women's Money in the Bank match. We got Julia, Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Vaquer, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, and Rhea Ripley. Timothy, who you got winning this one?
We got the new blood versus the old blood, and they're not even that old, but we're just going to call it new versus old. I'm going with Rhea Ripley is winning this. I got this gut feeling that she needs to add to her accolades, and what better way than add a Money in the Bank winner to that? What do you got?
Yeah. All right, fair enough. I'm going in a way that neither of us want.
Don't say it.
You already know. Just
Don't
saying
say
that.
it.
I have a really, really shitty feeling. It's a combination of like heartburn and bad Thai food that Naomi's gonna win.
No!
I feel it deep down in my loins. Kind of like the clap. And I don't want it to happen. For obvious reasons that I have not been shy about on this show.
He has not been vocal about it at all.
But I feel like the powers that be are going to give Naomi her flowers, which to a point I can see.
Yeah.
She's put in a lot of time. She's put in work. She's left. She's come back. She's been through the ringer. I will give her that. I wish her in-ring work would also give her that. And reflect it. But I feel like they're going to reward her for this heel turn, which I will give her kudos, has been a decent heel turn. Her character is solid. The music's great. It's really just the in-ring shit that I'm about. But I'm going Naomi.
I like it. I mean, it's different. We got...
Yeah.
All right. Already opposing each other.
Yes. Bringing it over to the men's, we got Andrade, El Grande Americano, Penta, we got Solo Sikoa, we got LA Knight, we got Seth freaking Rollins. Who you think's winning this bad bitch?
You know, we're going to get some shenanigans going on this from all sides of the field, and I think Punk is going to come into play with this and really cost Seth the match. So my prediction to win this match is Seth freaking Rollins.
I'm going with the one person that I think out of this match, out of this field, is going to be the absolute most entertaining with this briefcase. And that is none other than the megastar himself.
Can you feel it in your loins?
L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Motherfucker deserves this shit so much.
He really does.
He's been pushed, then it's kind of fizzled out. Then he's been pushed and it's kind of fizzled out. But no matter what the push or the fizzle or the push or the fizzle, he is still, to this day, one of the most over fucking dudes in this company, maybe entire business. Mm-hmm. The pop he gets, everything is just huge. Everyone loves it. He would be phenomenal toting this briefcase and playing the mind games and doing the, am I going to do it or not type thing. And he's one where I'm like, he could pull that Tiffany Stratton of yesteryear and but keep us engaged in it fully. Yeah. And not have us being like, fucking do it already. Like this one could be one where you're like, this is fucking awesome the whole way through, all the way to fucking WrestleMania next year, Money in the Bank next year even. Like, who fucking knows? You know what I mean? So, I'm going LA Knight. Yeah. That brings us over to the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Lyra Valkyrie and Becky Lynch. Who do you think's winning this, dude?
It's got to be the man herself, Becky Lynch. I think
agree.
This is just she can't lose again, right? And it's going to prop this women's IC title up even higher than it already has been feeling. I've been loving this feud, but I think it's time for the man to take it over.
I agree. I think it's going to be Becky as well. I think it just does so much for the title to put it on someone like Becky, and I don't think it hurts Lyra in the path of doing that. And it's not in any way, shape, or form saying that Becky needs this. I think the title needs this.
Yeah.
I think this has been the best thing for either of these mid-card women's titles is this Becky and Lyra feud. And I think putting it on a heel Becky in the, latter parts of her career, regardless of how much longer Becky wrestles. I'm not saying I think she's done soon. I'm just saying, she is in that point now where she could hang it up in the next 5 years, or it could be 10 years or whatever, but it's still I think having her be a heel as that champion would be huge for the title. So
yeah, and
she can't fucking lose another match. This will be her fifth match
back,
and she's only won one, and it was the very first one, and then she lost less than 24 hours later. So I think it has to be Becky.
I think Becky said it best on Raw. It was a lose-lose situation for Lyra. Becky loses, Lyra doesn't have Becky chasing her, and where is that fire for the title going then? And then if Lyra loses, obviously she's no longer champion. So the man
and
Becky
has to raise Becky's hand as the better wrestler. So yeah, I agree. Going Becky.
Okay.
That brings us to what we're assuming is probably going to be the main event of the night, and that is John Cena and Logan Paul versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes.
I think just following old school wrestling and just how it always plays out, I'm going to go with the heels had the upper hand going on the go-home show. Jey Cody is going to win this match.
All right. I'm agreeing with you on that. I think Jey Cody's winning as well. And to get a little bit more detailed, I think the only outcome of this match that really makes that much sense to me is Logan Paul taking the loss. But I don't think it's going to be Jey doing it. I think it's going to be Cody with the pinfall over him. I just don't see John Cena being able to take the L here in this heel turn that he's got going on. That would, I feel like, completely put a fire out. Jey, it just doesn't seem like it would make sense or realistic for him to take a loss here either as the world heavyweight champion. So I think both champions are going to be clean here. And then between Cody and Logan's the only one that makes sense to be able to take an L, unless something like crazy happens that makes sense for us. But I think Cody taking a loss in the first match back since WrestleMania would be so bad for business that I don't think Triple H is crazy enough to do that. So I think it's going to be Logan Paul taking the L here.
I agree.
All right, man. Well,
we'll see.
That wraps up our predictions for Money in the Bank, and we will return post-show to wrap it up.
Hell yeah.
And we are back for the Money in the Bank post show, coming at you with the results of the show and figuring out how we did on our predictions.
Hell yeah.
We're going to start things off right quick and in a hurry with the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It was the first match of the night. And
Naomi win.
We
called it.
We got Naomi winning. I told you I had a very unfortunate,
diarrhea.
Feeling. Like I ate just a ton of hot sauce, and then it was just coming out of me just explosive hot lava,
like lava.
That she was gonna win, and it came true.
You brought it into this
come
universe.
True. And so Naomi is our Money in the Bank holder for the women. I didn't even make it through the first talking point. I already yawned. That's not a good sign, Tim.
Holy hell. And it's only 7 o'clock, man.
Yeah, dude.
Overall, solid match. I think I said to you after the match, I was like, not a lot of big spots. Yeah. There were some cool spots in there.
For sure.
But it was more just like the women showing out like wrestling moves. And, and I thought that was cool because we know what to expect. And this kind of took a left turn when we
Yeah.
usually go right. And
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I thought
we
it-
usually get big, like, stunt person type moments. And, I mean, don't get us wrong, we got a few big moments.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I had said, do you think anyone's going to do a Chelsea Green type spot from last year? And we were like, no, I don't think that's happening this year. And we were right.
Yeah.
But it didn't need that this year.
Yeah.
I think
But,
last year's needed it.
Yeah, for sure. But like the double code red on both sides of the ladder
was
was really
dope.
cool, and then just the riptide and the Sister Abigail
Yep,
move
at the
done
same
at the
time.
same time. There's
That was
just a lot
sick.
of cool spots that didn't need the ladders,
Yeah.
but they used them very well throughout
Mm-hmm.
the match. So a very, very solid match. Disappointed that not disappointed. I mean, it's new
It
for
is new.
sure, and so we'll see where it goes. And
And I mean, dude, this was the 5th one that she's been in and had never won.
Yeah.
So you got to give her that. And like I said, I do think like there is definitely there's definitely potential with the heel character and her
Yeah.
being the briefcase holder. Like you said, it's not a lot of times that we get a heel with the briefcase. So this is like a true full-blown heel with the briefcase. So
yeah, and we also said during the show, we talked about the episode with Queen of the Ring coming up and Jade
Yep.
being potentially a winner. What if she wins, goes for the title at SummerSlam, and Naomi cashes in during
Yeah.
that celebration?
yeah.
Would be crazy.
Yep.
It
For
fits
sure.
too. It fits the story.
It'd
So
be wild.
yeah, great match.
Yep, that was good. That brought us next to the
Men's IC title that got
the
added.
men's IC. We were wrong on the pre-show. We did not. We were not aware. We were not aware at all before this today that there was going to be a 5th match added, and that's because the 5th match got added during
Worlds Collide.
Worlds Collide. So we had
It was
Dom
versus,
against
Octagon Jr.
Octagon Jr. That's right. And it was a
It was a cool match. It
cool
was-
match. Some really cool spots there.
Octagon can move.
Yes, he can. All them luchas. They're impressive individuals.
But ultimately, Dirty Dom wins.
Dirty Dom retains the IC to keep that IC as dirty as it can be.
And yeah.
We
Yeah.
did not predict that one. So I am still,
our slate is clean. I think we both would have predicted Dom winning, though.
Your slate's not clean.
Well, yeah.
Because I predicted Naomi, you did not. So
Yeah.
I'm still 1 for 1. You're 0 for 1.
All right.
We didn't predict the men's IC, obviously, because we didn't know that the men's IC match was happening until like 4 minutes maybe before that match happened. So
Don't fact check my
that
fact
was-
check.
Yeah,
'cause-
that was shocking. But that brings us then to the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. And what?
You're gone.
Oh, yeah, it was there. It happened. But yeah, it brings us to the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Lyra and Becky. We both said Becky, and
Sure enough.
Becky came out on top with some classic heel tactics, a little bit of a tuggarooski of the tights there in the pin, but
This
she
match
came out
was
with
so good, though.
It was phenomenal. It was fun to watch. These two they're just so damn good together in the ring.
They go at each
So-
other hard. There were some hard
Yeah.
spots in there, and just cool, like the manhandle slam off the second rope, and
Yeah,
her
the
kicking
fucking
out.
like single leg crab, but then
Oh,
she
yeah.
like turned it into she was holding it just by like the top of her foot, like straight up in the air, almost
With her
standing
knee.
on her fucking head. Like that was wild. I was like, oh my god, she's gonna snap Becky in half.
I don't know.
That was cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, we get Becky winning. She forces Lyra to raise her hand, then she forces her to do it again, then she forces her to put the title belt around her waist, and by that time Lyra had enough, and we got a
Yep.
little post-match beatdown of Lyra to Becky, and so yeah, there's a very good chance that this feud ain't over yet.
It doesn't feel finished.
No, it does not.
There's got to be a rubber match now.
Yes, yep. They're 1-1.
There's
right?
1-1.
So
big stakes. I like it, but
I'm now 2 for 2. You are 1 for 2.
Yep.
And that brings us to the men's Money in the Bank match.
Now this
was killer.
This match was killer.
We had a lot of crazy stuff. We had some cool moments we kind of hadn't really seen before. The slingshot from LA Knight to El Grande from the outside up onto an angled ladder. He runs up that ladder, gets on another one. He pushes it across with a little bit of help from Seth Rollins at the bottom, holding it steady, goes over, headbutts Penta off.
That was it.
It was cool. It was just a cool sequence.
So cool. We almost had freaking LA Knight doing the back suplex and almost having El Grande hit the ladder.
I still can't believe the refs didn't move the fucking ladder out of the ring.
There was like 2 people that almost hit it in that same spot.
It was just wild. But yeah, I mean, he did the back suplex from the belly to back or whatever that's called.
Something
suplex
like that.
off the tall ladder.
Yeah.
To Grande. And I mean, dude, his head was 3 inches, maybe, from that ladder laying in the ring. It was wild.
Oh.
And I mean, we got arguably the biggest moment of the night.
Yeah, for sure.
And we got Seth Rollins calling out his goons. His goons come out, take some guys out. So you got Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed out there. And then they're about to attack Solo. And here comes Jacob Fatu's music. You got Jacob Fatu. You got JC coming out.
Yep.
They come out. They start going back and forth at each other. They kind of clean house. Jacob Fatu helps Solo in the ring. Helps him up the ladder. And we finally got it. We got the Jacob Fatu full face turn on Solo. Brutally, too.
Yes.
I mean, he hit super kick, hits him with the most gorgeous moonsault you ever seen in your whole life. Then he hits him with a spinning solo off the ring apron through a ladder to the outside of the ring. It was awesome.
It was so cool.
It was dope.
So
we got Jacob Fatu full blown on his own now. I said it during the show. I called him a werewolf unleashed.
Yup. It's happening.
Stoked.
His solo run starts now,
Yes.
and I'm pumped for it.
And he's starting a solo run as the U.S. champion.
Yes,
So that's cool.
it's so cool. We had Andrade get his nuts chopped off by the ladder.
God, dude, I still can't believe that. And then he came back in. He was the next person then to get back into the ring and try and go for a move. And I was like, how is he up and moving? He literally got and it was like the end of the ladder. It was the foot of the ladder just straight to his sack, man. There was no brace. There was no, and it wasn't supposed to happen. It just, oh my God. I was like, God damn. That was brutal.
But then we get Seth Rollins winning the match, and no interference from Punk
Yeah.
or Sammy.
Yeah. It was.
It's very weird for this storyline.
Yes, it is. There's gonna need to be some form of explanation on Raw.
Yeah.
Because it really doesn't make any sense for what we've been going on for the last few weeks now.
Yeah.
Right? It makes no sense that they just they literally kept both of those two guys out of this match, and then they do nothing to try to prevent Seth Rollins from winning the match.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. So we
talked about the Raw and how Sammy was selling that match as big stakes to get Punk in the match,
and then
just leave it.
Yeah.
That's where it ends.
Paul, you have some explaining to do. We're gonna need answers on Monday.
Yeah.
But that brings me down to 2 and 3 because I had picked LA Knight, and that bumps you up to 2 and 3 because you did pick Seth Rollins.
I did.
And finally, it brings us to the main event of the night: John Cena and Logan Paul against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso.
Oh yeah, this match was it wasn't great, but it was a fun match and some really cool spots. The The drone coming into play was probably my favorite part of this.
That was what that, and I feel like a lot of these badass camera angles happen with Logan Paul.
They do,
right?
for sure.
And it was so cool. He has it in his hand, and then Cody
superplex.
Rhodes jumps up and superplexes him while he's still holding it. And we thought that was it. We were like, "Oh my god, that was dope!" And then the only angle we see is the drone still on Logan Paul, just having taken a superplex off the top rope.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you just see Jey Uso splash on top of him. It was so sick. That was the best camera angle of anything we've had.
Yeah. That takes me back to the SummerSlam.
The 360
that
drone
was
shot.
So cool too.
It was so dope. This was awesome though.
And then Logan does the Asai moonsault to the announce table to Jay. Bro looked dead.
I thought, yeah.
He looked dead. He was glazed out.
Oh my god. Yeah, I need different camera angles of that in slow motion all the way through, because I don't know if it was the table itself or if it was he hit and then he kind of flung off into like the chairs stuff. But then the ref also checked on him immediately and didn't call for anything. So I don't know, but it didn't. He definitely looked jacked up after that
Yes,
spot.
he did.
And then I don't know. Some might call it the second biggest moment of the night.
I might call it one of the biggest moments of the night.
Moment of the night. I don't know.
The crowd was saying it was the biggest moment of the night.
Yeah, I mean, you get the ref out after Logan hit that moonsault. You have the ref out checking on Logan and Jay. And then you got Cena use the title again to take out Cody. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, this mysterious figure dressed in all black slides into the ring and attacks John Cena. And then picks up the championship. And before hitting Cena with the championship, reveals himself as none other than R-Truth.
We want the truth!
And that was fucking awesome. I said it as soon as he slid into the ring. I was like, that's R-Truth.
It's R-Truth!
And it sure as shit was R-Truth. And that was fucking sick. He then hits Cena with the title, leads to Cody Rhodes hitting the crossroads for the 1-2-3 pin.
So shocking that Cena took the L here.
For real. That was one of the things we were talking about on the pre-show was...
But something big had to happen. And
exactly.
Truth was that big
something
thing.
Something big had to have happened for it. Really, we thought for any of the other three but Logan to take the pin there. And we were primarily talking about Cody taking it, but I mean, it just kind of makes sense for the others as well. And R-Truth came out, which was shocking and totally unexpected, and led to Cody and Jay winning, which we both called. So we end the show 3-4, both tied.
3-4.
Tied with two separate against each other calls that both went our way.
It's been a while since we've done a good old tie.
Yeah, I haven't had a tie for a while.
Mainly you winning over there and me just taking L's.
But regardless of who wins, it's usually wins by a lot. It's like 4 out of 5 and none or 1.
Exactly.
So 3 out of 4. That brings us to our 3 bells for the night. Tim, where are you going?
I'm giving it a 2.98, and the only thing I'm taking away is just no CM Punk, Sammy, and the Money in the Bank match. I just thought it needed to be there. It feels like it should have been part of that storyline.
Yeah.
You had his goons come out. You had Solo's goons come out. We need the White Knights to come try to save the wrestling business. So that was the only thing missing, but overall, I thought this was a great night for wrestling and overall show. So 2.98.
I was gonna go the 2.5 for the same reason, but I'm just gonna join you at 2.98.
There we go.
I'm gonna give you the same because that is really the only thing that would have docked it for me. Is that same idea? Is just it just doesn't make sense that they didn't interfere.
Yeah.
Like, with the amount of us always kind of bitching about the amount of interference and DQs and stuff, it was like, this is when it needed to happen the most, and it didn't. So I was just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
How are we so off? But yeah, so I'm agreeing with you, because I mean, outside of just that, it was fucking killer from start to finish.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
Once again, put on another really good card.
Yeah.
And it lived up, even with the last minute addition of the 5th match.
Yeah.
Like, that was a good match too. So all in all, awesome show, and excited for the fallout and the extremely quick turnaround to the next PLE in 3 weeks.
There's too many PLEs.
Yeah, it's way too many now. It needs to, like, what happened
once
to
a
it
month.
being once, like, actually once a month?
Come on.
You know?
Because then right after that, there's going to be, like, early July, there's a Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, it's like the 12th.
And then there's the Women's Evolution.
It's
and
like
then,
the 12th and 13th are those two things.
So it's like
and
shortly after, like within 2-3 weeks.
And then SummerSlam's August, right?
Yeah.
So, which, I mean, that one at least makes sense,
Yeah.
but it's still just like, it's really quick and really, it's a
Rapid
lot.
fire.
It is a lot. But that's what these shows are for.
Yes, they are.
That wraps up our Money in the Bank post show.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.
Let's fucking go.